Good evening and welcome to Have I Got News for You. It's great to be back with you, isn't it, Ronnie? No, it certainly is, and a packed programme tonight. Following the recent intruder alerts, palace officials announced plans to increase security by 50%. Not me, I promise you. After a fact-finding trip abroad, Charles Kennedy waits for his luggage to arrive at Heathrow. And the Advertising Standards Authority expressed serious reservations about the suitability of Jamie Oliver's new Christmas ad. Well, on Ian Hislop's team is a Hollywood actress who recently said she knows all about men and can sniff out a bastard at 50 paces. Well, Kilroy is in the next studio, so we can put that to the test. Please welcome Amanda Donohoe. And with Paul Merton tonight, a controversial artist who recently revealed I get between 60 and 100 requests every week to do media stuff. Still a way behind Anton Deck, I'm afraid, but... Please welcome Tracey Emin. And we start round one. Paul and Tracey. It's that man again.
OK, there's David Blunkett. This is the book that's coming out that's attacked all his cabinet colleagues.
Yes.
And he's kind of been left in the lurch. Well, there's the new man, Charles Clarke, whose ears stick out, and there's two Jags, Prescott, and there's David Blunkett. Suddenly it's turned out that this application turned up to be in his overnight bag, and it's all, you know...
Yes.
So glad Paul just said all that, because I didn't know who it was.
No, didn't you? Didn't you? You didn't know who David Blunkett was?
I did.
Oh, did you
It
pretend?
was a joke, Ronnie.
Oh, was it? Oh! I didn't... Oh, I'm sorry.
Be careful, Tracey, he'll start selling you his bed.
Did you, what did...
That wasn't a joke.
No, that wasn't a joke.
Oh, dear. What did Tony Blair have to say about Blunkett's resignation?
Basically, you know, go and have a holiday and after the election come back and be Home Secretary, is what he said. I was touched by the Daily Mail's cover, The Man Who Loved Too Much.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a misprint. Lied.
Did you read the poem about his dog that he wrote?
No.
No, I missed that.
How did it go?
Oh, it was like...
Where are you?
It was the train tickets that swung it.
Yes, that was the final.
Yeah,
one.
the final straw, the train tickets.
He said I didn't do this visa application, and then suddenly his officials found that he had, really.
Well, they found a memo.
They found emails.
Emails,
faxes.
Saying...
Yes.
And it's bad luck, because
So
when you set up an inquiry, you don't expect the man to find you guilty, do you? Put him in bad form. Do you think someone else should resign? Like Blair?
Oh, my God.
It's Christmas, Ronnie. You've got to get him going.
Yeah.
That's the spirit.
Oh, by Jove, this is the departure of David Blunkett, who has resigned to spend more time with someone else's family. On being told he was going to be the new Home Secretary, Charles Clarke couldn't believe his ears. Although, quite frankly, none of us could believe it. According to the Daily Mirror, at a Christmas party this week, David Blunkett sang Pick Yourself Up and Start All Over Again, in the style of Fred Astaire. And if he fancies a duet, two words often used to describe Robin Cook are Ginger and Rogers.
Is that the Royal Variety Performance?
Queen. This must be about Charles saying that he will eventually marry Camilla. And with the Queen's blessing, I presume.
But when will he marry her?
Ah, after all the to-do with the dead ex-wife.
Has there been much to do about
There's been quite a to-do, yes.
Really?
Yes.
Why do you think it's leaked out now at this particular time? Because...
What, that she's
Well,
dead?
it's in the day.
They couldn't keep it quiet any longer.
Perhaps it's because they're coming to the end of their inquiry into the Diana Commission, or whatever it was.
Right.
Inquiry.
How has one of Charles's sons been helping to take the pressure off his dad?
Oh, this is Harry.
This is Harry.
By
I think.
also dating lovely women.
Lovely, gorgeous, blonde.
Blonde women.
Yes.
Of a slightly different vintage.
Who come from fairly wealthy backgrounds as well.
Well, it's taken the heat off, because we can now debate whether Harry should get married instead of whether Charles should get married.
To
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
To Chelsea. Though he does own Chelsea, doesn't he? That was Cornwall House.
The Mail described Harry's cavorting with Chelsea.
Yeah.
They were often seen holding hands as rock music boomed out from an iPod player.
Oh, it's Sodom and Gomorrah, isn't it?
Now, how do all these romantic attachments, how are they going to spoil the Queen's Christmas, do you suppose?
They're going to put acid into the sherry. As she floats out the mall towards Big Ben. 3 o'clock in the afternoon. My God, it's the Queen.
This is the news that Prince Charles may shortly be marrying Camilla. On hearing the news, Michael Howard offered his congratulations, Tony Blair offered his support, and David Blunkett offered to take her out to dinner as soon as she's married. Paul and Tracey is spinning a headline for you. Get the oink off my land.
There was a farmer who had some pigs.
There were some...
So these pigs were really naughty and just out of order pigs, and they kept running off and they kept destroying other people's property and land and sort of nuzzling and gnawing at people.
Oh, and frolicking.
And frolicking, yes.
Running
that
music
way,
with
yeah.
iPods.
Running off to discos, running up a huge bar bill.
Everything. And the farmer was warned and warned and warned again.
Because he was given an antisocial behaviour order, wasn't
Yeah.
he?
And also it was cruel to the pigs to keep getting in trouble like that.
What were the police most worried about? That was the funny thing.
People saying pigs all the time.
Yeah.
No, well... Slippery Dunn.
I beg your pardon? Is he making a comeback?
Yeah!
Greatest country and western singer this country ever produced. Slippery Dunn. I've got one of his albums.
Yes,
Just for me, would you say, and now Barbara Dixon?
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Barbara Dixon. This is the news that owner of a herd of rampaging pigs has been served with an antisocial behaviour order. This story would seem to confirm that antisocial behaviour orders are here to stay, unlike the man who introduced them. Ian and Amanda. Smoker finally runs out of puff.
Is this about a very old woman who died aged...
100 years old.
She was over 100.
And she smoked all her life.
All her life. They had a little funeral for her, and they had flowers in the shape of a fag. And they buried her with her favourite brand.
She wasn't cremated, was she? Because that would just... All the smoke is hanging her outside, getting a suck off the chimney.
How's the nursing home planning to remember her?
What, give a fag to all the patients once a year?
Yeah, no, they're going to create a giant concrete bird bath shaped like an ashtray.
It's what she would have wanted, isn't it?
Exactly what she would have wanted. Anyway, this is Mary Ellis, who died aged 105.
Doesn't look a day over 106.
It's all This is giving her the thrill of a lifetime, isn't it? I think this is bullying staff of sellotape that to her mouth. I bet she gave up when she was 60.
A matron at her nursing home said... Will you please? A matron... Thank you very much.
I won't say... I'm not actually with it tonight. I went to bed at 5 o'clock this morning. I'm not with it, so you all lot just carry on playing.
Darling, where have you been at 5 in the morning? Might make a better story than the smoking story.
But you carry on playing.
You're in the pub until 5 o'clock?
I just want to relax and you carry on playing. All right.
Right, you remember the old lady?
Right, this is a television programme. You're looking for a bed, really.
Oh, dear. No, remember we were talking about the old lady who's died?
Yeah. Did the matron at the nursing home have anything to say?
Yes, she did. She did, funny enough. I was there to mention. A matron at the nursing home said she smoked right up to the end and for a couple of days afterwards. I knew it was worth hanging on for. So, at the end of that round, 4 points each.
Really?
Four.
Brilliant.
There we are. Right, there now follows a sketch in which I play a man trying desperately to crowbar some festive cheer into a cynical news quiz. So, ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Advent calendar of Christmas news. It is.
Special effects.
Now, behind each door...
Yes?
Yes. There's a little person. No. There's an even littler person. Behind each door, there's a news story. You pick a number, and we'll see what lies behind. Paul and Tracey, pick a number.
3.
3. Let's have 3, then. Oh, this is the face of St Nicholas, isn't it? It was reconstructed. I saw this in the paper this week.
What nationality is he?
Turkish.
It's how ironic that we then eat turkey at Christmas. Is it because of that? if he'd been, you know, if he'd been born in Czechoslovakia...
Or Greece.
Or Greece, yeah, that would have been all right.
Greece wouldn't have been
Or
good.
Hungary, then we could starve. What do you want?
Now, what other changes have we seen in the news this week?
We haven't a clue.
The researchers at UCL have morphed images of well-known people to help explain facial recognition.
Oh, yes.
According to the Daily Mirror, this is what you get when you cross Tony Blair with Pierce Brosnan. Although, on the plus side, of course, you do get a Prime Minister who actually listens to MI6. Ian and Amanda, would you like to pick a wee door?
2.
2.
Tea towels.
Tea towels. Ah, right.
Is this, Health and Safety have said there's no nativity plays because children are bringing in tea towels to put on their heads to be shepherds.
Very good.
And it's, you know, this is incredible risk to the children's lives.
Yes, this is the seasonal tea towel shortage. Caused by parents buying them for their children to wear in nativity plays. In some parts of the country, this has led to a massive increase in the sales of tea towels, or as I call them, bath sheets. Now, what is the biggest selling tea towel this year?
Is it the Yasser Arafat towel?
It's a multi-striped herringbone. It outsells the others by 2 to 1. I mean, who would have thought of that? Did you hear what a tea towel buyer from one of the big supermarkets told the Mail this week?
No.
No.
I did a tea towel side to one of the big supermarkets this week.
Well...
He said, we're washed up.
She said, with so few tea towels being used in the home these days, parents are buying them specially, so perhaps we should call them nativity towels. It's Christmas.
Yeah.
In Italy, the Vatican has criticised the school for cancelling the nativity and performing Little Red Riding Hood instead. The school didn't want to offend anybody, so instead of the nativity, they performed a play in which a wolf eats an old lady and a child before having its stomach slit open with an axe. lovely stuff, isn't it? So beautiful. There we are. Now, Paul and Tracey, will you choose a door?
Number 5.
Number 5.
This is Michael Howard's Christmas card. It sounds funny, but it's
It is.
true. Does he see himself as the chief king penguin on the left, do you think?
What could it be something to do with climate change?
Yes, the king penguin there could be saying, now, you probably remember when this was a desert last year.
What are the cards of the other party leaders look like? Have you
Tony
seen-
Blair has got
Oh, it's
himself and the
horrible.
wife. Is it horrible?
Yeah, really horrible.
Really? Why?
Yeah.
What's horrible about it?
They're just standing there looking.
What? Oh, there they are. At the door,
Yeah,
yes,
look.
that's right.
Oh, you're right, they're just looking.
And Charles Kennedy's Christmas card featured a small croft in a remote area of Scotland. There we are. Which, incidentally, is the venue for next year's party conference.
It would be better if there were a load of penguins going in the door. We've just come from the Tory card, it's rubbish.
I'd have a little penguin sticking its head just out the top of that chimney pot. Literally, you could do that before the end of the programme. Just have a little penguin's head just stick out the top. Sure, they can. Somebody backstage who can do that.
Yes.
They're just thinking, why bother?
Does anyone hear how the BBC upset Michael Howard quite a lot?
Oh, was it the Christmas card? No, I don't know. I've no idea.
No?
Did they sneer at it?
No, did they send Jeremy Paxman to follow him around Cornwall asking tough questions?
Oh, yes, that's right. He did, didn't he?
Yes.
On Newsnight last week. Yeah.
Yes, and it might annoy Michael Howard again if we show it, so here it is.
Oh, yes.
Can you clear up whether or not you did threaten to overrule Derek Lewis when you were Home Secretary?
Come on, Jeremy. You really going to go back over that
You've
again?
had 7 years to think about it.
Jeremy Paxman's cool, isn't he?
It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah. You're cool, too.
Oh, I'm cool,
Yeah.
right? Oh, we can move on then.
I see a tough cop buddy role with you and Jeremy. Paxman and Corbett. By Starsky and Hutch.
Yes, Starsky and Hutch.
That's it, yeah. But, you know...
You think he'd be interested? Do you think he'd be up for it?
I mean, he's got to be. I mean, Newsnight, how long... That can't go on forever,
No.
can it?
The 3 main political leaders sent out their Christmas cards this week. As you can see, Cherie decided not to smile, just in case they had trouble fitting the card into the envelope. Ian and Amanda, your turn.
Which one would you like, Amanda?
4, please.
I know it.
Yeah, David Beckham is Jesus.
And Victoria is... Oh, what's... Mary?
Mary.
Who says religion's dead?
Is Trevor McDonald one of the wise kings?
It was Graham Norton on the other
It's
side.
Graham Norton,
as
Trevor
one of the
McDonald, I
shepherds.
think.
That's right.
Certain religions have gone very angry about this. They think it's kind of almost blasphemous.
Well, a bloke sort of climbed over the thing, the barrier, and started punching David Beckham in the face, didn't he?
Oh, did they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Didn't he chop his head off? Oh, look, his head has come off.
Oh,
Yes.
Gruesome, isn't it?
I don't like it.
Is this
No,
some sort
no.
of terrorist
Does that
attack?
offend you?
Yeah, it does offend me, yeah, actually. I'm going.
God, I would have thought you'd seen a few things more offensive than that in your time. Needed whole gallery.
Smack him, Amanda, smack him. She's on my side.
Thank you.
This is the exhibition at Madame Tussauds, featuring celebrities as characters in the nativity scene. There have been a number of complaints about the scene, which features Graham Norton, Kylie Minogue, David Beckham and George W. Bush as a wise man. Although, compared to David Beckham, I suppose he is. Which means at the end of this round, it is Ian and Amanda with 6 and Paul and Tracey with 7. Round 3 is the odd one out round. Paul and Tracey, Ian and Amanda, the Queen, Kim Jong-il, the Gherkin, and me.
Kim Il-jong, he's in charge of North Korea.
Yes.
He builds very large rockets aimed at the West. Do you do that at all, Ronnie?
Yes, that's what Ronnie called it.
There's a gherkin.
Which one's Ronnie Corbett? I'm sorry, I'm confused.
Bottom right, bottom right.
Bottom right, OK.
Bottom right.
Good, OK.
Have you ever seen the film in which Kim Jong plays himself, the American film?
No.
Well, it might be quite, and you might quite like to see that.
OK, go on in.
Well, there it is.
Who are you talking about? Hans Briggs. Hans Briggs? Oh, no! Oh, hello. Great to see you again, Hans.
Mr. Yin, I was supposed to be allowed to inspect your palace today, and your guards won't let me into certain areas.
Hans, we've been through this a dozen times. I don't have any weapons of mass destruction, okay, Hans?
It's got something to do with what went before in each case. It's not exactly a tall story either.
It's a short story, then.
It's a short story.
The gherkin is tall,
Yes, that's right.
and the others are much shorter.
That's right.
We can tell you're an artist because you just looked at the perspective and thought, you know,
It's me.
they're smaller than the tower.
Yeah.
What's the answer?
The answer is that they are all shorter than their predecessors. Apart from the gherkin, which is taller than its predecessor.
So who was your predecessor?
Kirsty Young last week.
Oh, I see.
Does anybody know how tall the Queen is?
5'3".
5'4", according to the palace. What did George Bush Sr. call the Queen in 1991?
Shorty.
Shorty.
Oh, that's right.
Out the way.
Did he call it?
No, he called it a talking hat. When the Queen spoke at the podium of the White House, they hadn't realised how short she was. They're all shorter than their predecessors, except the gherkin. According to the architects, the design of the flowing, extruded aluminium entrance lobby connects the outside experience to the interior scheme. So it's got a front door, then. Now, we finish, as always, on the missing words round. Or, as the other Ronnie would put it, the pissing worms round. This week's guest publication is Nursing Made Incredibly Easy. Sister publication to Brain Surgery, not as difficult as everyone says. Here we go. Wait a minute, what happened to...
What happened to the patient that was sitting by the open window on the 4th floor?
What happened to the old lady that was chain smoking?
Hepatitis F is the answer.
Oh.
Next. What gets a celebrity makeover?
Bagpuss.
Pardon?
Bagpuss?
Bagpuss.
Bagpuss, not bagpuss. Is it an animal?
Is it animal?
No, not animal.
No, it's not. OK, is it a vegetable?
Yes. It is a
It
vegetable.
is a vegetable.
The Brussels sprout.
Right.
Brussels
Very
sprout.
good.
Brussels
Yes.
sprouts are coming back because you don't have to overcook them. They're lovely and nutritious if you cook them the right way, e.g.
Yes.
not for 48 hours.
According to The Independent, around this time of year, we eat no fewer than 4.7 billion sprouts and open no fewer than 4.7 billion windows. Next. Using a centimetre ruler, you can evaluate your patient for...
Hemorrhoids. Probably hemorrhoids.
For bed sharing.
Jugular vein distension. You were going to say that.
I was
weren't
looking
you?
at me in the face.
I know, staring you in the face there. Next. What hurt in Beanstalk Tumble?
Well, this is with one of the Crankies. Jeanette Cranky had a fall. Is it referring to her?
Yes, but she's going to be all right. But
Yeah,
it
she
was
will be all right.
Will be all right.
Oh, no, she won't. Oh, yes, she will.
Now, this is a story that Jeanette Cranky has fallen from the beanstalk in Panto at Glasgow. Despite falling from more than 20 feet, doctors have described her condition as fan-dabby-doozy. And finally, Turkey. What?
Turkey forgives Oliver Stone.
And what had he done? Eaten him?
No, Oliver Stone, Midnight
director.
Express, directed Midnight Express.
No, he wrote the script, yeah.
And he was too scared to go to... I'm half Turkish, by the way. He was too scared to go to Istanbul or go to Turkey because he realises now that he made Turkey, look, 20 years ago, look in a terrible like.
Well, the answer, do you want turkey what?
Forgives Oliver Stone.
No.
Is it...
Turkey dines out on its slice of luck.
It's not as good as mine.
Well, it isn't. It isn't good, but we plan to do it this way now, so don't cause trouble at this time. So the final scores are Ian and Amanda 9, Paul and Tracey 12. Just time for the caption competition. Ian and Amanda have this.
Are you mine as well?
Paul and Tracey, get this.
Oh.
Is the one in the middle saying I got it at Millet's? Just what I wanted, a couple of bookends.
One day we shall be a Christmas card.
There's the father saying, doesn't look a bit like me, it's not Blunkett, is it?
Is the one in the middle saying his cufflinks are a bit large?
And here's a bonus caption. That's all we have time for this week, and I leave you with the news. After 7 years of acupuncture, a Shanghai man announces that his headaches have finally cleared up. In Henley, there's evidence that Boris Johnson's domestic situation hasn't yet returned to normal. And there's good news for Tony Blair as Lapland agrees to send 2,000 troops to Iraq. So it's good night from me, and it's good night from me. Good night.
Have I Got News for You is back again in the new year. Well, next tonight on BBC One, it's Life as We Know It in Little Britain. Listen on BBC Audio.